What is up, all of my amazing children out there? This is Joe Mama, truly, who does need an intro because I am the intro. Boom. Today we're going to be going over a story. A story when my cousin and I almost died at Six Flags. By almost died, I mean a wheel came off and sparks were flying and there was flames and everything. Like, I'm not kidding. But as always, if you do enjoy the video, leave a like and leave a comment on, things that happen in the video, of course, because that's how YouTube works. Okay, so let's get into the story. It happened about 2 years ago. I think it was in the summer. We were at the Six Flags in Chicago, Illinois, the big, beautiful land of Chicago, and my family and my cousin's side of the family decided to go to Six Flags together. So we rode on the kind of lamb rides, you know, the rides that are like, okay, yeah, they're cool, like you're gonna get a little bit of an adrenaline rush, but not like the big cheese, you know, like the big hoss of the whole park. So 2 summers ago, Six Flags in Chicago was actually the first Six Flags to have the Goliath, and I believe it's the only Six Flags to have the Goliath. So you're like, Joe Mama, what is thy Goliath? Thy Goliath, thank you for asking, is the world's largest wooden roller coaster, and it happened to open up a week before we got there. So ironically, they must have been doing a horrible job of advertising this thing because we didn't know at all that this came up. So we were there, and it's getting pretty close to night. It's 7 o'clock, and I believe Six Flags closed at 9:30, I think. And we've ridden every other roller coaster. So my cousin and I were like, you know what? Let's go to the Goliath. It was on the other side of the park. You could see it from the top. There's flames coming out. It looked pretty epic, a little scary. But I'm a man, okay? I'm a man. Even though I'm Joe Mama, I'm a man. So it's creeping up on 7 o'clock, and my cousin and I are like, all right, let's go. Hopefully there's not that big of a line. We get there, and I think you know how there's a little bars that you have to stand in when you're waiting in line for a ride? I think the bars were a total of a half-mile long, and there were 1,000 people in this freaking line. And my cousin and I are like, oh, that's okay. Hopefully it goes by pretty fast. Well, little did we know, on top of the Goliath being the world's largest wooden roller coaster, it's also a very long roller coaster. So it takes forever for people to go through it. So it's been about 2.5 hours, no, 3 hours of us standing in line. Right? It's creeping on 10 o'clock, and the park is closed, but they wanted to get everyone in the line through. Because Six Flags would be a complete bunghole if people are waiting in line for 3 hours. They're about to sit in the car, and then they're like, oh, sorry, Six Flags just closed, gotta go. Thanks for coming, thanks for waiting in line. That would be a real big, bad... I can't cuss, I'll get demonetized. So we finally get to the car, and we sit down, and it's the really sketchy harnesses that make you feel like they're not worth anything. And the Goliath has loop-de-loops and a humongous drop and everything. So we're like, oh cool, I mean, we're just gonna die, right? So it takes off, and it has a humongous incline. That's how it starts. It's super slow, and you're like, oh, you're like, yay, I'm really excited. I waited 3 hours to die on this thing. And you get all the way to the top, and you just stop there, and then you just drop all the way down. And my cousin and I were on the 3rd or 4th car, and the Goliath is definitely the craziest roller coaster I've ever been on. Well, wooden roller coaster, because wooden roller coasters can only be so sketchy. And I don't know if you've ever been on a wooden roller coaster, but I'll break it down for you. Pretty much just breaks your freaking neck. Because of all of the wood is not structurally sound at all. So it's so you're going to, you're So we finished the roller coaster, right? So my cousin and I are panting, we're oh great, we're good, we're all good. And then my cousin was he was actually the one who said it. He was like, do you smell something? And I'm like, what? And he's like, it's kind of a smoke. And I'm like, no bro, people don't smoke on a roller coaster. That'd be the worst idea ever. The thing would cigarette would be put out. And he's like, no, I'm serious. I'm like, I don't smell anything. So if you've ever been on a roller coaster, you finish, but you're not in the booth yet to get off. So you stop, I don't know why, the wheels have to cool down or something, and then it slowly coasts into the booth where you can finally get out. So we're waiting at this place where it's cooling down. I don't know why it stops there. There's not an easy path to get to where we're at. There's a metal chain on one side that's really sketchy. I would never walk on it because you'd be walking on the track, and we're 100 feet off the ground. that's just really sketchy. That's just not my, my forte. But this old, like, 90-year-old guy comes up onto the tracks and he starts walking it. And everyone in the car is like, what is he doing? Like, are we about to die? This is like a 90-year-old man about to kill us. So he's like grabbing this chain and he's like slowly walking the rails. He must have worked there because none of the workers like were flagging like this random pedestrian down. They saw him. So he walks past like half of the train until he gets to train. He walks past like half of the roller coaster like cab and he gets to ours and we're like 4 cabs back. And he looks at us and he goes, "Hey children." And we're like, "Hey." And he goes, you're pretty lucky to be alive right now." We're like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, well, let's see. About 300 feet into the roller coaster, one of your wheels flew off. Like we saw it physically eject from your car. And at this moment, we looked down and the smoke was coming from my right side. There was smoke and there was no wheel there. It was like, so roller coaster wheels aren't all, they're not like car wheels. They don't have like rubber on the outside, but there's like 2 like metal circles. So imagine like a car tire, you have like the metal inside and then the rubber. Well, like it's not rubber, it's just metal, but there are 2 metal pieces. And I look down and there's no big metal piece, just a little metal piece. And he goes, "Yeah, so it flew off and it started screaming. Like, I've never heard a screech that loud in my life. Like, all of us had our hands over our ears and we were freaking out. We thought you were gonna die. Like, we were praying for you." And we're like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah," and then it caught on fire. And we're like, "No." So our cab caught on fire while we were riding, but we were screaming so loud and the wind was so loud. Like, we were going like 90-something miles per hour on this train. It's not a train, Joe Mama. So we're going real fast on this roller coaster. We couldn't hear anything. Not the flames, not the screaming. Like all the people like that were waiting to ride were like screaming and like thought we were gonna die. And then we hear over the intercom, "Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, seems like the Goliath is being shut down for the day because of technical difficulties." And my cousin and I look at each other and we go, "Oh my god." So that was the story of how I almost died at Six Flags. That's legitimately like the last place I want to go out. I mean, it'd be kind of cool dying on a roller coaster because like everyone would know you. But like, come on. I'm a famous YouTuber. I don't need to die on a roller coaster for people that know who I am. So thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you leave a like, comment what your favorite part is, and if you've ever died on a roller coaster. Do what your mama says and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.